This is Susan Wilbanks with blendedinsight.com. I am a holistic and integrative healing arts practitioner, an intuitive, and an energy healer. In this podcast, I share tips, tools, and suggestions that have helped me along my path in hopes of inspiring and helping you along yours. Let's get started with today's podcast topic.
Hello, bright soul. Thank you so much for joining me on this beautiful day here in Colorado and wherever you are listening. And I got to tell y'all what I did this morning. I can't believe I did this. Oh my. See, I shouldn't even share it with you, but because so many of us are on a similar journey, I've got to share it with you. The human moments of life. So I was leaving the gym and I was not working that day. So I decided to go run my car through the car wash. Now, it's really interesting because as much as I dislike winter and as much as I run cold, I'm cold most of the time, I don't really wear coats to the gym, which I know is kind of crazy. I'm conditioned, even though I'm like, oh, it's so cold. I'm conditioned. So I just wear a lightweight zip-up jacket. Now, I have a winter coat in my car, and I also have boots in my car in case something were to happen and I had to be on the side of the road or something. You never know. Just plan, even though we're not putting that out there. But anyway, I'm not going to get into all that. So in any case, I zip up my jacket. I go in and out. So I decided to run my car through the car wash. So I have one of those. There's a car wash near my home that it's touchless. So you just run your card and drive your car in and it rinses everything off. And the reason why is because it had snowed so much, they salt the roads. And when they salt the roads, it's really not that good for your paint. So I thought, oh, I'll just get my car rinsed before I go home. And I'm not even paying attention to the temperature. I live in a cold weather climate. So obviously I would assume that the car washes are still going to work. So in any case, I'm not even paying attention to the temperature. I leave the gym, I go through the car wash, and I pay the little money and I pull in, following the instructions, and it malfunctions. So it puts soap all over my car, and then it was doing this weird rinse thing, and I go to this car wash frequently, so I'm like, what's going on? So the door's open for me to leave, but it's not done with the rinse cycle, and I'm like, what's going on? It's broken, and this is crack of dawn in the morning. I mean, it's like 5 a.m. So I pull out, and I'm like, what the heck? So I pull back in. Of course, I'm the only one at the car wash. Like, who else is doing this at this time? And friends, it had frozen onto my car because guess what? It was 15 degrees. It was 15 degrees. And I'm like, okay, so if you're running a car wash in a cold weather climate and it's open, wouldn't you use like warmer water or something? I don't know. I'm not in the car wash business. This has never happened to me before. And I run my car wash through car washes in the wintertime. So I had to go, and it's one of the older car washes where you can actually put quarters or, I don't know, you could swipe a card too, and actually spray and wash your car by hand. Remember those days? So I'm like, I can't drive off with soap on my car, and it was on my windows and stuff too, and it was freezing. I mean, the soap was freezing. Like I had icicles hanging from the windows, my rear view mirror, whatever, my side mirrors. Not my rear view mirror, you know what I mean, the side mirrors. So, and the back, actually, the back of my window. So I had to get out, and you would think, I'm calling these menopausal moments for those of you that are around my age because we just have absent-minded moments, and it is menopause, friends, and perimenopause. Men, be sensitive and compassionate because we cannot help it. Our hormones are doing weird things, and it absolutely causes mindless moments. So I thought to myself, did I really just drive my car through a car wash and it's 15 freaking degrees? Didn't even think to look. So I had to get out, and thankfully I had quarters in my car, and it's pitch black, and I'm outside spraying the soap off of my car. And guess what? It was icing. It was icing when it hit my car. So I had to get so close to my car to knock off the icicles to get the darn soap off. And I just thought, really, Susan? Did you really do this? Did this really just happen? So anyway, I was telling my daughter about it. We went to lunch, and I was telling her, like, you are not going to believe what happened, because when we got on the car, oh my gosh, my car looked terrible because I had just did like this half soap thing and then I rinsed it off. So I actually have some waterless, I don't know, car cleaner. You know, it's a spray that you can wipe off with a towel. So I had to, after it warmed up, and the icicles fell off my car. And it didn't get that warm that day either, like maybe 30 degrees. But here in Colorado, we get a lot of sun. So, it's okay. It kind of melts off. So I had to go through and clean it. Anyway, I was telling her, my windows look like terrible right now because I went to that darn car wash. And then she's like, why would they even have it working? I'm like, that's what I'm saying. But honestly, Susan, really look at what the temperature is before you drive through the darn car wash. Anyway, it was pretty funny. I was laughing at myself and I'm like, what? I just can't believe I did that. And I blame it on menopause. I mean, I take accountability for myself, but hey, it's a menopausal moment. I've coined that term and I'm just chalking it up to that. So anyway, that's how my day started. So it's okay. We got it all handled. And I know I'm not going to do that again. I'm not going to run through that car wash because it took my money too. And it was $18. It took my money and I did not get my money's worth. And I almost was going to drive back and look at the number and call them and tell them. But I was just like, I can't roll down my window, people. It's frozen. So I'm just going to chalk it up to a bad decision. Anyway, let's move on. Oh, and I wanted to say before we get into the topic for today, thank you for everyone that's joined Patreon. I appreciate your support so much. I've created 3 tiers. There's a $1 tier, a $5 tier, and a $10 tier. And the information on each tier and what you get is included in the description. So if you have any questions, feel free to reach out. But I want to say I am programming those healing pods to be returned to you many, many, many times. The money that you contribute, the energy that you contribute, I want it all to come back to you 100-fold in all areas of your life. And my intent is to create a sacred healing container in that Patreon account. When you step in, when you log in, you are instantly flooded with the beautiful healing energy, that sacred healing container. We keep it super high vibe, and we're there to support one another on this journey. So that is enough of me talking about my life. But I want to go into the topic, and that is energy drains. This is something that we've been talking about a lot. Those are the things that drain your energy. And guess what? It's not always people. Sometimes it's activities. And so what I've been doing is being more mindful of the things that bring me down. So let's think about this. It is your responsibility to fill yourself up. It is your responsibility to give yourself the energy and almost overflow yourself so that everyday life and being in the world doesn't deplete you. So as an example, when you wake up in the morning, you slept well, you had a routine the night before, your clothes are laid out, you've got everything set up for the day, you've listed out all the things that you've got to get done, your top priorities for the day. You wake up and you're in a beautiful space. So you wake up, I'm just going to make this up as like a 10. Your energy is at a 10. And then let's just say you turn on something, a healing or a podcast or music that's 432 hertz that opens up your heart chakra, that centers you for the day, or maybe it's affirmations, and you've just added to your energy account. So now maybe you're at a 12. And then you take a moment and you do some deep breathing and you set your intentions for the day and you sit in gratitude and think, Lord, I'm so grateful that I woke up today. I'm so grateful that I have all the things that I have. I can see, I can hear, I have a shelter, all the things. You sit in that vibration of gratitude. Now you're at a 15. So you have started at a base level and now you're raising your energy up. So then let's say you drink some water, you eat a healthy breakfast, you move your body, you exercise, and you're flooding your mind and your body with who you are, who you want to become, the vibration of what it is that you want the most of. So by the time you leave your house or by the time you step out for your day after your routine, you're at a 20. So now if you're driving and someone cuts you off in traffic, maybe that takes you down to a 19 because you've already filled yourself up with so much that you're at an overflow. So it's not going to chip away at you. Now let's say like you scroll on social media and you see an attention seeker, so it knocks you down to, I don't know, a 17. The point is, so then you notice this, you notice that it's draining you a little bit. So you think, okay, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to call a friend that connects with me, that we fill each other up. I'm going to talk to them and it's going to instantly replenish my account, my personal energy account. You know, maybe I spend some time with an animal or I pet an animal. I could even view cute animals on the internet. I mean, like for me, cat videos I mean, it just opens up my heart because they're so adorable and they're just themselves. They're just supremely themselves. So let's say that. Or I do something to make myself laugh. Like there's all these things. I get some sunlight. Oh my gosh, that's a big one. I get some sunlight in my eyes. There's all these things you can do to raise your own energy up so that the world doesn't drain you so much. So our goal is to keep yourself in excess and overflow. What drains your energy? Overthinking. I mean, think about it. You could rate yourself. What puts my energy at, if I'm rating myself 1 to 10, 10 being a yes, oh my gosh, I am in alignment, I feel amazing, I'm busting out of my skin, I'm so alive, and a 1 being, can't do it, like I want to lay on the floor and fall into a coma, cannot do it. So, rate yourself. Overthinking, what does that do to your energy? Screen time, social media, over consuming stuff that just, wears you down or tells you bad news, what does that do for you? Clutter around your area, does that drain you? People pleasing, chasing after people that aren't choosing you, trying to get their approval, and they can feel it. So anything you chase runs. So we want to be in a space of more attracting and becoming who we are and staying in our own alignment. What other people do, that's on them. But if you stay in alignment, then you're exactly where you're supposed to be because you can't control people. You cannot make people like you. Either they do or they don't. Maybe it's not setting boundaries. What does that make you feel like? Being around negative people or you yourself being negative. What does that do to your energy? Foods, alcohol, substances. What does that do to your energy? Not sleeping well, not drinking your water. I could go on and on and on. What boosts you though? Visualization, vision boarding, sunlight, journaling, listening to beautiful music, exercising. I know some of these I may circle back to because they absolutely fill my cup. Meditating is a huge one. Sitting down and making conscious contact, getting my instructions for the day. The reason that I can give what I give is because I'm pulling it down from the actual creator. And it is an inexhaustible supply. It's just how much can you specifically hold? And that's what all of the practices I talk about do. They make your container bigger so you can pull more and hold more. And not only does it make you better, it makes other people around you better because you are able to flow out even stronger. And this is your own personal journey. This is not other people's journey. So trying to change other people, you can drop seeds. Like sometimes in private sessions, clients will say, oh my gosh, I sent your YouTube channel to a friend or a coworker and oh my gosh, I appreciate you all so much. And maybe that person resonates or maybe they don't, but you planted the seed. So you can drop seeds without making people feel like, oh, that you're pushing it on me or you're trying to change me. And that is best served when you feel guided to. Not when you're sitting there thinking like, oh, I know who needs this. This person needs. No, that's because you're trying. I get that you might be trying to help, but there's also sometimes it's kind of sticky because sometimes people will say, well, this person is doing all of this to me and that's why I need them to do. Well, you're trying to change someone, and you cannot interfere with free will choice, especially with this work. So I just wanted to invite you to think about how you can structure your day to give yourself as much energy as possible so that you go out full and you're giving from your overflow and you are in alignment and you feel amazing. And honestly, the best way to influence someone is just living your life in alignment. When you see people who are just radiant, they're joyful, they have great energy. We've all been around those people. And I am really honored that people feel that way about me. I'm not saying everyone does, but over the years, people will come to me and say, what do you do? You're always so positive. I love being around you. You laugh a lot. You're lighthearted. What is it that you're doing? But when I share what I'm doing, they're like, oh, that's a big, tall order. I don't think I can do that. But it requires work. I'm not saying it doesn't. However, I've also had people say, I would like to do a little bit of what you're doing. If I could just get a little sprinkle of what you're doing, then I feel like it would make my life better. And guess what? They've dabbled in it. And again, there's the seed planting. And that's one of the ways that we create good karma. We show people another way of being, and whether it resonates or sticks, that's on them. But the other thing is, like, I don't go around talking about this stuff that I'm doing. I just do what I do. I just show up and do what I do. I am who I am. I'm authentically me. And if they ask, that's my opportunity to share, unless I'm told through my intuition to share, and then I will. But the longer I'm on this path, and the more dialed in I get, the more I pull people into my everyday circle that is in alignment and is on this path similarly. That's how you and I met. That's why you're listening to me right now, because there's something about my journey, my work. There's something about my energy field that resonates with you. And we're in alignment. And so we find each other. We will find the people that are supposed to be on this path with us. And I'm not saying they're going to be on the path with you forever, but they will be on the path with you for the allotted time, whether that's a lifetime or a season. That's beyond our control. But again, if you can just focus on what fills you instead of what drains you, and talk about the things that fill you, not draining you, because the tendency is this person drains me and that drains me. And, we talked about becoming who you are, letting go of the old story, stepping into this new identity that you want to embody and become for this year and onward. So that is all I had to offer. Let's go into a healing. I am going to just flood you with beautiful golden healing energy for this particular segment, so you can uncross your arms and legs and focus on your breathing. Okay, and so it is. Friends, I want to invite you to subscribe to my newsletter if you haven't done so already, and check my links for the Patreon to learn more about that. And if you haven't left me a review on iTunes, I would so appreciate it. And as always, I appreciate you so very much. I wish you a beautiful week. Take care. Bye-bye.